Performance-wise, this movie was probably haram because there's so much of hamming. The hijackers say that they give the Nigerian government 72 hours to fulfill their demands. But the funny thing is that this is being announced to the passengers. I generally don't give spoilers, but this time I will. So if you haven't seen the movie and if you really, really want to see the movie, maybe you can come back after you watch the movie. After living in bondage with planes and boats, and rattlesnake with planes and boats, and blood vessel with boats, plane network now returns with planes with Hijack 93. Based on an incident in 1993 where 4 young men hijacked a flight in order to reinstate a democratically elected president after the military dictator scrapped the elections. This is what I got by my 5 minutes of research online, and that did a lot more than what 2 hours of the movie, or 1.5 hours of the movie could do for me. The closest this movie comes to even exploring this theme is when the hijackers say that they give the Nigerian government 72 hours to fulfill their demands. But the funny thing is that this is being announced to the passengers and not to whoever came to negotiate or the government officials. Turns out that Nigerian Hassan Minhaj was imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit and he did not break while he was in prison. So Sam Dede chose to empower him or indoctrinate him. And what about the other 3 hijackers? Right when you think you might get to hear or witness other interesting backstories, you just get to know that one's mom died, one's daughter died, and the other had his dad thrash him. That's it. Nothing about their political backgrounds, nothing about how or why they got into it. It's also interesting how these hijackers, they just walk into the cockpit and they command the pilots, take off now, land now, go to Frankfurt. These 2 men are essentially bus drivers. And this one guy, every time he panics, he just gets petrol out of nowhere and he pours it all over the place and then he does nothing. Where does he get all this fuel from? With all this fuel, they could have easily flown to Frankfurt probably. I also like the side commentary that is there throughout this movie. There are these drunkards who are there to just tell us that these hijackers are considered heroes. But who are these drunkards? Why are they there? Where have they come from? Nobody knows anything. And to establish the evils of tribalism, there is this altercation that happens in the flight, and that also comes out of nowhere. And chick tells Nigerian Hassan Minhaj that Nigerians never try something new. He's hijacking a flight, and by the looks of it, it's very clearly for the first time. So I don't know where that has come from. Also, the plane has this Chinese ambassador's son who just decides to side with the hijackers and remain in the plane. And so the military guys outside the plane, they decide to poison his food and get him out of the plane, on the context of emergency healthcare and all that. They do all of this from outside the plane. Don't ask me how. And at the end, you get to know that one of the air hostesses was an accomplice, but another one gets arrested. Another one gets framed and arrested. But how does that happen? How does she get framed? Why do the soldiers think that she is complicit? Concern me. Moving on, performance-wise, this movie was probably haram because there's so much of hamming. The new guys did a decent job. Adam Garba did a good job. He was a more understated performance out of the 4. Akinsola, Oluwaseyi gave quite a good intense performance. Nnamdi Agbo probably had the least to do out of them all, and Allison, Emmanuel was trying a bit too hard. All in all, I don't know what to say.